Is it possible to power on/off a monitor using the computer? I was wondering if it was possible to power on/off a display using a computer connected via HDMI. Let me explain. I want my computer to power off my monitors, not standby mode, when I don't use it, no keyboard/mouse input, for more than 15 minutes, and power them back when such input is received. My monitors are connected over HDMI, so I was wondering if it was possible to use the SEC functionality with a computer. If is it possible, then is there a hardware requirement? My point is that I often take a break from my computer, but forget to turn off the screens, and I would prefer to shut down the screens completely instead of putting them to standby mode. Thanks a lot.
I want my computer to power off my monitors, not standby mode, when I don't use it, no keyboard/mouse input, for more than 15 minutes, and power them back when such input is received. What you want is exactly what you are trying to avoid. If the monitor is actually fully off, then it can't turn back on from a signal on the video cable. To allow it to turn on like that, there needs to be some sort of circuit in the monitor that remains on and active to watch for the signal. Monitors already have such a circuit, but turning them off turns that circuit off as well. To use that circuit, you need to leave some electricity in the monitor, and that is exactly what standby does. It turns the display, and speakers, and everything else, off while leaving that one small circuit active. With most modern monitors, there is essentially no difference between standby mode and fully off other than a tiny low voltage trickle in that circuit in the LED on the front. I have to pay for electricity, so we always avoid using electricity as much as is humanly possible, yet, I leave it in standby when I am using the computer and need to step away for a while. I turn both off when I am done for the day. Instead of letting the monitor remain on for 15 minutes for nothing, your best is to do what I do and simply get into the habit of either turning the monitor off whenever you get up to step away, or to manually put it into standby mode. What I do is to use the auto hotkey script below, can be compiled to an executable that runs in the background if desired, to let me press Win+M to sleep the monitor whenever I get up. Other options include using a shortcut or program, using a script or program to do it with a mouse cursor hot corner, or even just reducing the timeout from 15 minutes to 5 or so.
The HDMI SEC specification, which allows HDMI connected devices to act as a limited remote control any other connected SEC-enabled device, defines the command, system standby, which would allow the remote to switch the target into standby mode. This is the closest to what you have in mind that I know of. It requires that the target HDMI device, your monitor, be wired for SEC, which is mandatory under the spec, so it is, and that the device implements SEC in general, and that command specifically, which is totally optional and not very common, yet. It's pretty unlikely that your monitor implements SEC, but may be possible to confirm from the manual or published spec, or perhaps easier to simply test by connecting a device via HDMI that sends SEC commands and seeing if your monitor responds.
Yes, but you shouldn't. I think Cinetech sums it up well, but if you must. Exactly how depends on the screen, but if it has an ear receiver you can connect an ear blaster to your PC to signal shutoff, though as Cinetech pointed out, if the ear is working, power is still being drawn. Alternatively, you could use an Arduino or similar device to actually switch off the power to your monitor. This would take some work, and some DIY skills, but it is certainly a possibility.
In short, no, you can't. Not on a desktop. The power of the monitor is independent of any kind of communication from the CPU. It would be a nice feature, I'll admit.
If you want a superb channel, please consider subscribing.